Welcome back to Alaska Cabin Adventures. Today we're out here in the Alaska wilderness helping my buddy Barclay build his little trapper cabin off in the woods. Let's get started. Absolutely humbling experience. Well, that's what friends are for. Well, today we are out of my friend Barclay's little log cabin build that he's got going.
Welcome to the build site, man. This is the little log cabin that I've been making.
A couple episodes back, Barclay came out and helped me haul my tiny cabin on wheels out to the lakefront property, and so I owe him some free labor, so this is my way of paying him back. So it's just a really simple build. It's just some pier blocks with some 4x8s as beams going across. He's just got the joist connected directly into the beams with some joist hangers. We got to get a subfloor in here.
Started building this one afternoon. It was like, I got some land, I want to build a cabin.
So you'd never built a log cabin before?
No.
All the logs are put together as saddle notch style. A lot of different ways to do those, but that's what he opted for, which I think is the most classic look.
It's aesthetically pleasing, but it is labor intensive.
Yeah. What do you feel like the hardest part has been so far?
Getting the logs. Shape, length, diameter, straight, you know?
Yeah. Today what we're going to be doing is ripping all these logs down and putting in the subfloor. Right now it's just the framing. So we're going to pull all the logs down, put a subfloor on, insulate it, and then start putting these logs back on more permanently with some lag screws.
It should come apart real easy. That was tight.
All right, so we got all the walls down, but some of this little makeshift flooring and the sill logs are actually screwed in, so we're gonna pop those out real quick.
Like that.
So that's just a hair over 8 foot. All right, we got the walls down, and so now we're gonna go ahead and insulate the floor while we've got it exposed. We got R21 going into the floor here, and we're just gonna use these edges of the craft paper to staple onto the floor joist. That should keep the insulation from falling down. Honestly, you can friction fit these fiberglass bats as long as your joists are properly spaced. It'll stay up with just friction. I've got a bunch underneath my cabin that's held up for years that I just put in there because I had some leftovers. So eventually maybe come in with some chicken wire and go up underneath it or something to keep the critters out, but we're just having fun. Now I have seen folks use furring strips in between their floor joists to keep the foam from falling down, but I think the best method is actually putting some kind of plywood up underneath there to keep the insulation in place, but to also keep porcupines, mice, and squirrels out of there. All right, we got the floor insulated and we're ready for plywood. All right, so we're just marking out these joints on the outside beam so we know where to snap a line.
I think we tack it, man.
All right, let's tack her in. All right, just gonna put a few screws in the edges to keep it in place while we get the other ones going. So he's using 3/4 inch tongue and groove OSB for the decking. So the advantage of using tongue and groove is that it locks the seams together so they don't flex in the middle. All right, so we got one more joist to put in that just never happened before. Obviously, we are one piece of insulation shy, but no big deal. We can just sneak up underneath afterwards and stuff some fiberglass in there. All right, so we'll just cut this to length and be good to go. What you can do is set your blade depth to the thickness of the plywood so that way it doesn't cut into the beam underneath. So this is 3/4 inch. So little markings, you can just go to 3/4 inch. All right, you're gonna run it along there. Well, we don't have a chalk line, folks, so this is what we're doing. We're just running the tape from joist mark to joist mark. and hoping for the best. All right, subfloor is all tacked down. We're gonna get some 6mm poly and just cover the whole thing with it before we start putting the logs back up. That way, if it rains, the subfloor won't get ruined. And then when he's done with the roof, he can just come in and cut it out. Good effort.
That's one way to do it.
How wide is this stuff?
10 feet.
10 foot wide?
Yeah. Once it's folded out, we should have 2 feet overhanging on either side, right? Or a foot on either side.
Got that knife? So now what we're going to do is put these sill logs on the corners, and getting these first ones lined up just as good as possible is really important, so that way everything progresses up in the right manner.
So my screw hole was right around here.
Then if those work, then we'll gently peel them off, secure everything down, put them back.
Hey, that ain't bad actually.
Nice. All right, we're going to be using these big old timber lock lags to secure the logs down to the subfloor, and then each preceding log from there, we will put another one into the notch and lock them all together. Not a second too soon on getting this tarp over the top. It's starting to rain.
Okay, that one's great.
All right, so we kind of figured out in order to get these back the way that they were first built, we just kind of place them together and make sure that they fit into the next log's notches, then pull that log off, anchor them in, and then these will come on, and we're just gonna rinse and repeat like that until we get to the top. All right, well, we've got this thing pretty much put back together, except now it has a floor, it's insulated, it's weatherproof, and we've got all the logs actually locked together. So I think where we're at now is we're gonna head off into the woods and try to harvest some new logs. We need 24 more logs to get 6-foot walls. Right now, this is about 3-foot walls.
I'm pretty confident we've got 2 logs right there. We got a 10 and a 12. So, what, we need 22 more?
All right, guys, we are taking a little bit of a dinner break. Gonna do some steak on a stick. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
You draw your notches and then go in with the chainsaw, and then you hit them out with a hatchet, and then you clean it. Those steaks kind of took the steam out of our engine, but we're sitting around the fire. I think I'm gonna try to make a little spoon out of this piece of birch. We'll see what happens. Well, this is by far my worst spoon, but I was just kind of rushing and having fun. But it got really small. I just kept messing up, so I kept eating away more and more wood until it was tiny. But I decided that this is going to be a spoon for our new baby that's due in September. So be a little baby spoon. And it'll be just the right size for that. So anyway. Well, good morning, everybody. I headed back to the cabin last night after we were done hanging out by the fire and making spoons, and crashed for the night, and I'm back on my way to Barclays this morning, and what a lovely day it is to be doing some logging. All right. I'm not exactly sure how much land he's got here. Maybe a couple acres or so. So what's the plan?
There's a tree over there we want, so we're gonna go drop that tree, haul it back over here. We've got a log debarking tool that we're gonna try to mess with. We've never used one of those before. See what that's like relative to the draw knife. So for the debarker, we got to take the bar oil out from one steel to another.
So this is a tree we're thinking about doing. It's tall, straight, and made out of wood. The tree's got a bit of a natural lean this way, and there's a nice hole in the woods right there, so I think we're just gonna notch it and drop it that way. Should be no problem. Whoa! A whole bunch of ants came out of the center of this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Carpenter ant.
Yeah. Well, that could mean that this is not going to be a good tree to use. By the way, guys, my apologies if the audio is bad right now. I've got a plastic bag over the camera, and the tinkling of the rain on the plastic can kind of create a noise sometimes, so hopefully it's not too annoying for you guys. No ants up there? Yeah, it's bored, but it's better. Uh-oh. Let's see. Well, our 12-foot section here is all down, but we just cut it open, and look at this. The whole inside ring of the tree is punky, which means it's essentially rotten. That's soft, no good wood, so I think this whole tree is probably shot. Yeah, this tree sucks. What a bummer. Dang, well, that's 0 for 2 on good wood. All right, well, we're gonna try a third tree. This one's got a lot more greenery on it, so hopefully it's healthier. Now that's a good tree.
Peel that off.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the green trees. We don't want to do too much of this down here though, because it'd be slippery to carry.
Yep.
You good?
Yep.
You got the business then, honestly. Going straight to the log pile. Okay. Watch your foot in the ankle peeling zone.
So he's already taken most of the best logs from the area since he's been working on it for so long. But we walked a little farther back in the woods and found another one that I think might work. It's dead because the top broke off, but it doesn't look like the beetles got to it. So hopefully it's just dead standing with dry wood that isn't rotten. But we'll know pretty quick after we cut a notch in it. Got another one.
And it is like just inside of this. Might be able to make that 10 work. Get on the canoe.
All right, should we try out the debarker? Well, we're gonna hunker down underneath this tarp for a little bit, and we're gonna install this bark peeler that attaches to your chainsaw. I've heard some people call them a beaver. Basically, it's gonna use the drive of the chainsaw to turn this little set of teeth, and we can chew all the bark off the wood. Now, with that green tree, obviously it's gonna be really easy to peel the bark. It literally peels right off by hand with a small axe. But on these dead trees, you have to use a draw knife, and it's like a lot of work to really scrape through the bark. It hardens to the wood. So this might be a game changer for getting productivity done when it comes to stacking logs.
Yeah, you know, I think it was pretty funny that when you called them, like, let's haul this giant trailer down the freaking trail. That'll be fun. And now I'm like, hey, let's go spend the whole day getting eaten up by mosquitoes in the pouring rain.
Well, that's what friends are for.
And hauling heavy logs on our shoulders through the freaking forest.
Yeah, so if you guys missed that episode, Barclay came out to my new property and helped me get a bunch of trees cut and trail cleared and helped me haul that tiny cabin on wheels out to the lake property. And it turned in, we kind of were thinking like, oh, it'll be a fun little thing. We'll have it done by noon. We'll do some fishing. And we were working till like 10:30 at night or something crazy. It just turned into a bit of an ordeal. But so anyway, I figured I'd come out and return the favor for him. But hey, if you guys don't already know, Barclay's got a YouTube channel as well. It's called Out Here in Alaska. And it's pretty much him out here at this property building this log cabin and also doing adventures all around the state, I guess.
Trying.
Yeah, he's got an episode on helping me move that cabin. So be sure to check out his channel. Me and Barclay have actually known each other since the day I moved to Alaska. I came up here to go to college in 2007. He worked at the college that I was going to, and when I got off the plane, one of his jobs was to pick up the new students in the van. And so he picked me up, and then within about 24 hours, we were off into the mountains on a backpacking trip. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, we're gonna be on a little trail, doing a little hike, but this guy took us on like a 7-day epic through the Talkeetna Mountains with absolutely humbling experience.
Whole new direction.
That was when I got a peanut stuck in my hole that I had in my mouth from getting my wisdom teeth stuck out in the backcountry. Someone had to go in with the tweezers and pull this peanut that was stuck in one of my wisdom teeth
I have
holes.
a picture of you somewhere.
Prying that out.
Peel that out. Yeah.
So yeah, we go way back. That thing looks hungry. So it does kind of take some material with it, huh?
It definitely does. It takes some getting used to for sure.
Yeah. But boy, you get right through the cambium and right down to the actual wood, no problem. Well, let's grab a draw knife and see how it compares. So to give you guys an idea, if you don't have one of those, you use a draw knife. What it entails. Well, this is actually peeling pretty good as well.
Not bad. This was the dead one?
Maybe the top broke off like last winter and hasn't had a chance to dry out super bad. So if you guys look, you can see there's what's called the cambium, which is below the bark but above the actual wood. And if you don't peel past this, the log will basically turn brown and gray again and look like it was never really peeled, and you'll have to peel it again. So if you can get down to that nice kind of yellower wood, so that little speckled white stuff is the cambium. This one's honestly peeling really easy compared to a lot of them, but my guess is that that thing will chew right through even fully dead crunchy stuff.
I mean, look at it eating into it. at that.
Yeah, it's like cutting into the wood. So that's actually kind of misshaping the logs a
A
little.
little bit aggressive.
Yeah. What's going on over here?
That's a one-man job.
Barclay's hiding in the tent. All right, so this log up here is pretty rotten, we discovered. The way we figured it out was we sank these timber lock screws in, and instead of just grabbing the wood and pulling it down, it just started punching through all these layers of wood. And this is the only one that's been like that. So luckily it's on the top, easy to get to. Rather than just hope for the best and build it in, we're gonna pull it out and replace it with one of the new logs. Kind of a bummer to have to go backwards, but better to do that than to build a really soggy, rotten log into the wood. All right, so we're gonna try to notch one of these logs and get it installed, so this will be a fun opportunity to kind of see how that works.
Yeah, we got that floor in here yesterday. Now you can just get to work.
All right. All right, so the tree is tapered. It's thinner down here than it is down there. And we want to try to get the thicker part off so it's at least as consistent as possible, what Barclay was saying. So he's going to scooch this down as far as we can get it without having too little overhang. All right, so now we start notching. And you know, like I said, he's new to this, so it's just kind of a learning experience. But so far the cabin's looking pretty good to me. I mean, this is going to be a legit little cabin once it gets chinked and all sealed up for the winter. So anyway, let's get to it.
Lay this down on the bottom. I'm going to have the pencil mark come up and meet the top. We do our best to keep it as level as possible. And as straight as possible.
So you kind of get it close enough and then kind of fit it as needed after you actually start cutting it out, and you kind of say, oh, it needs a little bit more here, needs a little bit more there.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
So now we can connect. You can see, if you see kind of where the last one ended and the first one, you know what I mean?
All right, connect them, I see.
This thing's doing this, right? This is where it's trying to secure it down so it doesn't do that.
You're right, so as you cut it, it doesn't try to run around.
Yeah. We mark where we want to cut out, right? So we got our mark where we're going to want to cut out our notch in the log. So now what we're going to try, I've not tried this before, ratchet strap this down right here so this thing doesn't move.
So I've been wearing my new yellow leather gloves that I bought, and I just took them off, and they got soaking wet and my hands turned yellow. But anyway, gotta put them back on. Oh, I tell you what, I love putting on soaking wet leather gloves on already soaking wet hands. I'm like legitimately soaked, like head to toe. Even my underwear is soaked. This rain jacket did no good considering that we were working so hard carrying logs that I sweated the inside out. And then all the drops of the water coming down soaked my pants. And my shoes are soaked from walking through the forest, so I'm like a drowned rat right now.
This ain't the best day to be working in the forest.
It's not.
I'd probably start with the hammer side, you know,
Bust it out.
and just break it out, and then you can use the blade to kind of smooth it out.
Okay.
Smooth it with the chainsaw a little bit, smooth both of them. Then we'll roll it on and see how it fits.
Okay.
And then we'll have an idea of where we need to take more off or put more on. Or
Okay. Okay, well, it ain't pretty, but we can clean it up with the chainsaw. It's sitting on the log instead of on the notch.
Okay, so you're a little high there.
Does that mean we need to take some material out of this?
Take some off, so it's sitting here.
All right, so it's fitting okay, but we've got some touching going on here, but it's sitting up proud over there, so I think we'll try to drop that one down farther by increasing the depth of the notch.
Okay, yeah, see where it's, you can see where it's connecting. So we shave some of this out, some of that out, right? Like that's where it's,
Like these edges?
yeah, 'cause that's where the log is resting now.
Right. Hey guys, don't forget that all the music in my videos is original music. You can get it on my website at alaskacabinadventures.com. I've also got merchandise and a virtual tip jar if you guys want to support the channel.
Roll this up.
That's what we got.
23 to go. And then we can put a roof on it.
Barclay's looking pretty soaked.
We got one on. We cut down 3 trees, we got 1 log on.
Always a good day hanging out in the woods. Obviously, if you're an experienced log builder, this is amateur hour, but you know, you got to learn somehow. It really gives you a good idea just how much work goes into doing a log cabin. But while there is a lot more work per log and per step, there's a lot less steps. So once it's done, you don't have to like insulate the walls. You don't have to do exterior siding and vapor barrier and Tyvek. And then, you got to do tongue and groove on the inside. And there's just a lot of steps when you're stick framing. Each step is significantly easier and you can get the main structure up a lot quicker. But I do think log cabin building is harder just due to the logistics that require strength or multiple people or machinery. I know there's a lot of ways to do like pulleys and different systems like that, but yeah, just really cool to be a part of the process. It gets me inspired to want to build my own little log cabin sometime, but man, I would start with something really small, really humble, because this is tough work. I think sourcing the logs is also a huge factor. You need a lot of really nice, big, tall green trees if you're gonna make this work. Those beetle kill logs are just no good. So anyway, been learning a lot, having a lot of fun. I think we're gonna call it a day.
It's a wet day. I'm
It's
wet.
We're wet. We got a log on. I got to at least see the process of how it goes. So from here, I guess it's just a lot of rinse and repeat. And learned a lot. And we got the floor buttoned up.
We're standing on floor.
Don't forget to check out Barclay's channel out here in Alaska. You guys can watch this cabin get finished. And next week, I should be out back at the lake property. I got some big stuff planned for out there. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next episode of Alaska Cabin Adventures.
Later.